Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be using stencils to create focal images on your page. So I am going in and wow, shocker, I'm actually cleaning my stencil. I had been using some watercolors beforehand, so I didn't want something too runny on my page. So someone did ask the question recently if I clean my stencils. Not very often, but occasionally I will. I'm just going in with some acrylic paint halfway up my page to create my focal image. So obviously I have got the head, the face of my figure, and I'm just drawing in a really simple body shape. I'm then using the excess paint to create a really simple headline or hairline, and with the watered down paint I am going in and sort of creating really simple shadow lines. So I'm kind of pulling out the paint that's already there. You can see I'm watering down the paint on the page to create this really sort of soft effect. Where I have put some of that water, I'm now going in with another stencil to create some texture on the body. And where I had the water there, it sort of gave a really soft effect with the sponging, and where I didn't have the water, I've got that more solid effect. That's a really quick and easy way to create a figure on your page. Both those stencils are from Stencil Girl, but there are lots and lots of stencil companies that have faces. Stencil Girl's got a lot, so check those out. But you can, I know Jean Davenport's got stencil faces and all sorts, so have a look around. But if you are not confident drawing a face, stencils are a really great way of creating your own faces and figures without all the effort. You just use your paint and paint them in. One thing I have found though, if you are using a stencil to create a face, make sure you put in the whites of the eyes and the catch-alls. It makes a huge difference. So if you don't put those in, and it is totally up to you, but you find it just sort of loses a little bit of focus of the face, whereas if you put those eyes in, or the whites of the eyes in, it sort of really focuses your eye on the page of where the focal point is. So once I'd sort of done that, you see me sort of sketch over the top with a little bit of my Stabilo oil pencil, and I also used it a little bit around the edge just to darken it up somewhat, and that gave a little bit of a shadow effect as well. I am also going in and doing some journaling on this page, so really scratchy, loose journaling, and I've done it in a way that it's not really readable. It sort of really blends in with the stenciled image I've used on the body of my person, and it also has given a shadow. So I've sort of done it as a bit of almost like cross hatching, I suppose, so it will sort of fit in to where I want to on the page. I did decide that I wanted to stencil on some words with this stencil. Because of the way this stencil works, I did draw out a little bit of a line to do it, but because it was so bold, I suppose, I was kind of losing the letters and I didn't really like how it was looking. So I went in very quickly with my wet wipe and wiped it away. Now, one thing I will say, and I forgot to say this at the beginning, was I had actually sealed this page with some gel medium to do something else with. So this is actually a sealed page, which meant I could actually rub that away really easily. If I hadn't sealed that page, that wouldn't have happened, because craft journals are quite absorbent, so the paint would have gone into the fibers of the paper. So making sure you have sealed your page is really a good idea. The fact it had acrylic paint sort of stenciled over it, and it had the acrylic paint pen on it too, gave it a little bit more protection, but just so you're aware. So I decided instead of stenciling through, I would get my alphabet stamps out and use some white ink to stamp onto my page instead. This is the, it's called Unicorn ink from Hero Arts. It is very white, which I love. It is also a pigment ink, so it takes a little bit longer to dry. So just be aware of that. I did heat set that was still a little bit wet underhand, so you do need to give it a little bit of time to dry. You can see me still testing it to see if it's dried or not. I decided to put some blue around my letters instead of my usual black. The reason for that is, even though it looks black in the background, I have actually used a blue to stencil through my image, so everything on the page sort of has this bluish tone to it. Now I decided I wanted to put something in the background a little bit, and I'm going in with my gloss sprays. This is the metallic gloss spray called Gilt. I wanted something really sort of subtle in the background, so I used the goldy colour because it sort of blends with the craft paper pretty well, and it's one of those almost like a colour shift, so in some lights it sort of doesn't look there, and then in other lights when you shift it you've suddenly got these gold stars in the background. I also went over with some of the silver, I think it's called sterling, and did some splots in the background, so that was a little bit more bold. It stands out obviously against the craft a little bit more, and I decided, because I've got grey wisdom hairs, that I would give my person grey wisdom hairs too, so I'm just using the stem of the gloss spray to draw that through. And again, that looks like it stands out lots here, but when you sort of shift it, it does blend in a little bit with the page, so it's one of those really odd things. Finally, I just added in some colour into the eyes. You can see up close where I've done the scribbling with the scribble stick. You can sort of see the blending, a little bit of that journaling in the background, and how that stamping stood out against the background. So it's a really quick and easy way using stencils to create these figures. And obviously you could do it on a piece of cardboard and then cut them out afterwards, and make a whole bulk lot that you could use for other projects. But I quite like using them straight into my project or into my journals. So I hope you have a go. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye for now.